Today I'm going to share my bread recipe with you, and I'm going to make a 2-pound loaf of bread. I'm going to make it in the bread machine. It's a 90-minute process in the machine doing all the kneading for me. That way I can put my ingredients in and walk away and do other things. This is a 2-pound loaf. They make them in 1 pound as well. One thing I like to do is make a couple of these loaves, cut them thick like Texas toast, and I make a head French toast and put in the freezer. That works out great. This is my Hamilton Beach, and it was not very expensive. Actually, there are so many styles on the market today. You can find an affordable one just about anywhere. I bought this one off of Amazon. And as you can see, we have buttons here, cycle, crust, loaf size. You can change all kinds of settings. And then there's a little gauge right here that tells you what you're going to use. I use the number 8 cycle for dough. The vessel that you put your ingredients in sits down in here and locks in. And you just close it and turn the setting on, and the machine does all the work for you. And this is the vessel. It holds there's a paddle that goes inside, and that paddle is what goes around when the machine is working and kneads the dough. In this vessel, you have a paddle. This is called a paddle. Now, this is a little difficult to clean. I usually have to take a Q-tip or something and go down in there and clean that out. And I think I'm going to clean it one more time. And that paddle goes right here on this stem and fits inside. Okay, I've got everything pre-measured. In this bowl, I have my flour. This recipe, the 2-pound recipe, calls for 5 cups of all-purpose flour, which I've already measured out and have in here. 4 tablespoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt. Now, these are my dry ingredients. I've got all of them mixed well in here. And the thing about a bread machine is you add all of your wet ingredients in the vessel first, and then you add your dry ingredients. I have 2 cups of milk. This milk needs to be between 110 and 120 degrees, and I'm going to put that in the microwave and heat it up, and I'm going to test it with my thermometer. I do use Fleischmann's. This is Fleischmann's instant dry yeast. And I keep my yeast in the freezer. It will last a whole lot longer than if you keep it on the shelf or in your cupboard or wherever. I keep it, and not even in the refrigerator. I keep it in the freezer, and it keeps it inactive. And it activates when you mix it with heated ingredients, which I'm going to do with my milk. The milk needs to be 110 to 120. I've got it heated up, and it's perfect right now at 115. The first thing I'm going to add are the eggs. 2 eggs. Don't forget to put the paddle in the bottom of your vessel. All right, I've got the 2 eggs. After the eggs, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of melted butter, 2 cups of milk, and that is all of my wet ingredients. Now, I'm going to add my flour, which actually, this flour, I've already got the sugar and the salt. The sugar was 4 tablespoons and the salt was 2 teaspoons. I've got that blended well. I'm going to add that into this vessel. Now I'm going to just make a little well in the center, and that's where I'm going to put my 3 teaspoons of the instant yeast. It goes in dry. And that's all there is to it. It's the 5 cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of instant yeast, 4 tablespoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 cups of warm milk, 110 to 120 degrees, 2 eggs that are room temperature, and then 2 teaspoons of melted butter. Now I'm going to put it in my machine. It goes in and it locks into place. You put it in and you turn it and it locks. I'm going to set it on 8. And that's an hour and 30 minutes. And then I'm going to hit start. This machine will take 90 minutes. That gives me time to do other things while I'm waiting on that machine to make my bread. What is great about it is it kneads the dough so well, it just makes that dough so silky and smooth, which leads to a beautiful loaf of bread. It has been 90 minutes and I'm going to go get my dough out of the bread machine, and I'm going to come and dump it in a bowl. There. One thing you need to know is the paddle will most of the time get stuck when the dough gets dumped out, and you have to, dig your paddle out of your dough. I've dumped it into a very well-oiled bowl, and I'm just going to roll it around so that all sides of the dough is oiled. I think that will do it. You punch it down, which is just simply punching it. The sides and the bottom have a lot of oil in it. And I'm just going to cover it with a plate and let it sit for 1 hour. Okay, time is up and this has risen. Look at how much it did rise. I'm going to roll this out on the counter and shape it for my bread pan. We're going to punch it down and dump it out. I want to make sure I get plenty of flour on my hands, and I'm going to roll this to try to shape it so that it fits in the pan. Oh, it is so silky, so soft. I'm not going to play with it too much. I just want to stretch it and roll it to fit the pan. Now, this pan is a non-stick surface. However, I still spray it with Pam. That way I can be sure that when I go to turn it out, it's going to dump out without tearing. Now, to get this into the pan, I just get it in there and I spread it out to fit the pan, like so. Now the last rise is 30 minutes in this pan. I'm just going to cover it with a tea towel and set it aside. I'm going to set my timer for 30 minutes. So while that last rise is taking place, I will wait until the last 10 minutes of the rise and I will preheat my oven. 375 is the temperature that I'm going to put it on. When it reaches temperature, I'm going to wait at least 7 minutes, maybe up to 10, to let the oven stabilize before I put my bread in. You know, this process for making this particular recipe, it takes 3 hours. It takes an hour and a half in the bread maker, and then it takes an hour to do a second rise in the bowl, and then 30 minutes in the baking pan. So it's a total of 3 hours. That is a lot of time to wait, but it is so worth it. And in the meantime, I have time to do chores and get other things done without really having to get my hands too dirty. It's a very simple process, and if you have a bread maker, it is so worth doing. All right, that last 30 minutes has passed. I preheated my oven and then I let it sit for 7 minutes after the timer went off, telling me that it was preheated. If you've watched any previous videos, I believe letting that oven sit for about 7 minutes or so after your timer goes off, that allows the oven to, you know, stabilize and not fluctuate up and down, because there is a lot of fluctuation. Once it reaches temperature, it'll go up and down by a degree or two for just a few minutes. So I've let that oven stabilize and the bread is ready to go into the oven, and it has risen very well. So I'm going to put it in the oven and I'm going to set my timer for 22 minutes. Time is up. Two pounds of bread. I'm going to see if I can dump it out right here. Because I don't want it cooling in the pan. There we go. That is hot. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? And it smells so good. I'm going to get a rack to put this on, because if it sits, it's going to sweat on the bottom, and I would rather it sit on a rack. There. So now airflow can get under it and it won't sweat. It actually had already started sweating right there. So I'm going to let this completely cool before I cut this. It's pretty, isn't it? Had a little bubble right here, but that's okay. That's going to be a lot of slices of bread. And I will make another batch later today so that I have 2 loaves of bread. Now what I did was covered my bread with a tea towel just to, you know, let it cool down. And now I'm going to cut it and let's see what it looks like. So here it is, nice and fluffy, very soft. Cut it however thick you want it. Of course, I've got to have a taste. It's delicious. Every time. It's better than loaf bread from the store, I promise you. It's so pretty, I hate to cut it. That is so good. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope that y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.